Hi, everybody. This is Hannah Sistasla with the Arm Hug podcast, and I am here with Sabrina Lee from Herway Training Institute. So she has been a guest on our podcast before, basically training programs for phlebotomy, for I want to say a lot of like procedures that most people really don't think about. She's got a ton of reviews. Like a lot of people really love what she's working on. A lot of people have talked about her. Even on the comment section here in our YouTube channel, she's basically a really great mentor. So I'm excited to have her on here because she's going to talk some new services and maybe tell us a little bit about what's next. So Sabrina, take it away. Tell me, like, what should we be expecting from you this year?
Thank you so much for having me again. Herway Training Institute, we're located in Sugar Hill, Georgia. However, we are very much an online training center. So we have students in all over, in all different states, because all of our courses you can take online. However, for the new focus of the program for phlebotomy and medical assistant, our focus is to actually allow our students to take this skill set and this certification and start their own business, such as mobile phlebotomists or start their own non-medical lab, which is a very lucrative business.
Yeah, there's definitely a need for people who are looking for mentors. And do you help people also start like registering the business name, like from that point on?
Yes, so we actually help you with everything. We help you get your LLC, we help you get your EIN number, we help you fill out your CLIA form. We also help you and teach you how to get partnerships with like LabCorp, Quest. So what we want to do is we want to give you the blueprint after you get your certification with us on how to and do everything with you on starting your own non-medical lab. So we're your accountability partners. We coach you, we mentor you, and we help guide you.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so you're saying the person can do this remotely with you. They don't need to be in Atlanta to do this.
That is correct. So we are nationally accredited. You can take our course. It's virtual. Our phlebotomy program is 3 weeks, and then you can come down to our school and do your clinicals. Clinicals are hands-on. So you have the option of coming to Georgia to do your clinicals, or we will partner you with a nurse or a phlebotomist in your home state, and you'll be able to do your clinicals with them.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's really great. There's a flexibility. And what about people who they have a full-time job and they want to participate?
Oh, it is very 9 to 5 friendly. So we have a platform which is called At Your Pace. So with our phlebotomy program, it is really you learning at your pace. Everything that you need is at your fingertips on a dashboard. All of your courses, the recording of classes, and then we also do live courses at night. So our courses start at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if you're not able to make those courses, we record them for you and upload them to your dashboard so you'll still have access to them.
Yeah, that sounds great. So I guess for me, I'm thinking if I was trying to take your class or if I'm deciding whether or not to take your class, what is different about your class than the ones that are already out there?
So most of the time, the phlebotomy program teaches you how to go out and get a job as a phlebotomist or as a medical assistant. We like to focus on entrepreneurship. So we would like for you to take your certification and actually start a business with it. So whatever type of business you're trying to start, we're going to be your partner with starting that program or that particular business, and we set you up, we teach you how to do everything the right way. So we really focus on the entrepreneurship part with phlebotomy and medical assistant.
That's great. That's awesome. And how many people do you have in this program right now, or is this something you're starting brand new?
Oh, so we have been accredited for 18 months now, and we have had over 225 students in our program. We have a 98% passing rate for the national exam. So 98% of our students pass the exam and are certified phlebotomists. We also have our medical assistant program, and year to date for the medical assistant program, we've had 20 students because that program is really new, and we have 100% passing rate with that one.
Then a question I get asked a lot in terms of trainings, do you offer supplies?
We do. So with the phlebotomy program, we provide you with the books, we provide you with practicing supplies. So if you want to practice at home, we will actually give you like the fake arm, the needles, everything that you need to practice at home, which we think is important. Practice makes perfect. And I really think that if you're new with drawing blood, you do need to get as much practice as possible. So we provide you with practice supplies as well.
Yeah, that's really great. So they don't have to worry about trying to find the supplies or going online and ordering supplies and then basically waiting for it to get there before the start class.
Correct.
So I guess like, can you talk a little bit about what the future is for people who might be thinking about mobile phlebotomy businesses? Like, is it something where they're an entrepreneur full time, or do you think they would have to also be having a second job?
To be honest, Hennessy, the ultimate goal is to provide our students with enough knowledge and enough information where they can actually be full time. So, out of all of our students, we do have 28 students that are 100% full time, and they are making six figures.
Yeah.
So, those are bigger earners, which we're really, really proud of. And we always tell them to pitch. Every single day, you should be reaching out to at least 5 different people, doctor offices, senior care living facilities. All of these people need you. You need to pitch yourself every single day, and we actually give you a pitching template, and we'll provide that to your listeners. So we'll provide you with the link, and we will actually give
Wow.
that to any of your listeners. It's a pitching template that you can use if you are a mobile phlebotomist and you are trying to get contracts, because that's really, really important.
Yeah. So I'm glad you said that. It really is based on, the know-how of how to go out and market yourself. And a lot of people are trying to step in the door and say, I'm looking for a contract, right? But they haven't made a name for their business. They have no idea how to even approach sales, or even a price for their blood draw. They're just ready to start a contract. What advice do you have for people who are really in a rush to get started?
So I always tell my students to start off with volunteering. Volunteering with wellness, it's a way to give back, and it's also a way to put yourself out there, to get your name out there. It's a way for you to also continue to get more practice, volunteer for wellness events, volunteer at plasma centers, anywhere that you can actually network and you can actually learn the industry first. And then you have to have a marketing strategy. So once a week, we teach our students marketing strategies, how to pitch, things that you should be saying to get clients, things that you should be doing to get clients. Are you doing pop up shops? Are you doing wellness events? Are you doing business to business marketing? So that's super important to have a strategy. Whenever you're doing any type of business, you should always have a strategy, and the marketing strategy should be number one.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to think with your customer in mind, right? You're walking in somewhere, have your business card, like make sure if someone does need your services that you're prepared to tell them where they can go and get it. I was talking to somebody today about that, and it was so amazing to also hear how she was ready to go from employee to entrepreneur. Do you ever talk to people about that transition? Because it is a change of mindset.
Oh, you just said the magic word, mindset. So I highly recommend that before you decide to go into the entrepreneurship, uh, feel that you actually do some mindset shifting, some mindset coaching. I have partnered with several mindset coaches to
Yeah.
really get that focus to go from employee to CEO.
Mhm.
So you are fully responsible for your success. How much you're marketing, how much are you investing into your business, how much are you investing into finding a coach or a mentor. That's a mindset shift. How are you going from a poverty mindset to looking at yourself as an investment? Do you look at yourself as an investment? Because you are. Do you know what the ROI is for the investment? So definitely that mindset shift is where I would start. I always tell my students three things that should be you should have a strategy, you should take really, really good care of your mental health, and then you should also change your entire mindset as you are shifting from employee to CEO.
Right. And I guess, do you require your students to have had like maybe 5 to 10 years of experience before they start working with you? Or how can they prepare for that if, let's say, they graduate high school, they went to college for a year or two, and maybe that wasn't for them, and then they decide to transition to your class?
So actually, we don't care if you have experience. We will help you get the experience that you need as long as you are willing. So if you're willing to say, hey, I'll volunteer 3 times a month, I'll do this, I'll do the work that it takes. We don't require you to have any experience. We just want you to have the mindset of, okay, I have to do this and I'm going to do this. So what we will do is we'll partner you with different companies to help you get the experience so you can kind of learn the ins and outs of the business. And then the business part is where I'm going to mentor and coach you on how to set your business up correctly, doing all the things the proper way that maybe I didn't do the right way when I first started because I didn't have a mentor, making sure that my students don't make the same mistakes that I did.
Yeah. And also, I think every state has different rules and regulations. So it's very hard to just say, okay, everybody should just do this one thing, or this is how
Yes,
everybody's going to do it. Right.
right. No, absolutely. I think the hardest state right now that we're dealing with is California. They
Mm.
some of the strictest rules. So, for instance, no one can take our program in the state of California. They make it a requirement that you have to take a state-based program. So, if you're in the state of California, you have to take a program that's actually in the state of California.
See, and that's good to know for people who want to also start schools, because I know a few people who want to start schools and they're kind of coming into that problem too, where there's a lot of fees involved,
Yes,
and there's certain places where they could teach or where they can't. So I'm glad you said that, because that's the reality. We all want to be like global entrepreneurs and be able to, touch everybody, but sometimes it's like, yeah, there's limitations. So
absolutely.
that's like the first step when you're learning in entrepreneurship, the things that you can and can't do.
And I think they just keep coming. Like every time I feel like I'm over one hump, it's like, oh, wait, 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 nope, can't do this. And I'm like, okay. So I always tell everyone do a lot of research. My personal preference is to pay someone who has already done these things before. So when I first started my school, I paid a consultant company. She had helped open over 40 schools. So it was very important to me to get someone that actually knew the industry, knew the things that I needed to do to help me get accredited.
Wow. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I would love to hear more about the mindset coach that you were able to have or that you've had, because I've heard of people getting coaches, but mindset coaches is a great way to say that or describe that. Like, it's like you really do have to change the way you think before you jump into something like this.
Absolutely.
And was it something that was referred to you, or did you go out and seek a mindset coach?
So I am a very big advocate on therapy. And I have been in therapy for 5 years. And then I decided to look into life coaching. So I was like, okay, I've been in therapy for 5 years. Let me see what life coaching is about. So I hired a life coach. She actually introduced me to a mindset coach because oftentimes, if you were not
Mm.
raised in a certain environment, there are things that you pick up on that you just feel like is normal, right? But when you shift that environment and you realize that it is endless possibilities. So money comes easy to me. Things come easy to me. It doesn't always have to be hard. So it's really about changing that mindset. Is it really only a blessing if it's hard? That's not true. Who's really making it hard? Are you making it harder than what it has to be? Are you living in fear? Are you aware that most entrepreneurs battle with the thought of the fear of success and the fear of failure? So you're afraid if you fall and if you fail, but you're also afraid that you can't handle the success.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's really the mindset. So I go after anything that I want, right? But I also don't live in fear because what's the worst that could happen? If I fail, I learned so much. So was it really a failure or was it really like the biggest lesson to lead me on the path to my success? So doing a mindset coaching, they teach you different ways that you can look at things, right? There's two different types of entrepreneurs. There's the entrepreneur that will be the overthinker. Well, there's different types, but I'm gonna give you two. There's the entrepreneur that's the overthinker. They're stuck, but
Yeah.
they are so, oh my God, they're so good at what they do, but they overthink every single thing and they never execute, right? Then you have the executor who goes out there and just do it and whatever happens, happens. That is the person that 9 times out of 10 is going to reach success before the overthinker. Because if I throw myself out there, I've never owned a school a day in my life. I woke up one day and was like, hey, I'm going to start school. And I started doing my research. I manifest. But whenever you manifest, people assume that you just write it down on a piece of paper and leave it there.
Yeah.
No, I wrote out everything that I wanted. And then every day I worked towards one thing that was on my list.
Mm.
So it was find help, which
Yeah.
is super, super important when you are starting business. Find help. And you go for it and you go for it and you go for it. So
Yeah.
that's what mindset teaches you.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah. I think sometimes we think that it's only successful if we did it ourselves. And if we don't ask for help, it's like we can't get there. So it really is like a catch-22. It's like, which one is it going to be? Do you want to be successful or do you want to just be able to do it and then fail?
Absolutely. I think it was Myron Golden that stated recently, um, entrepreneurs that feel like they're the only people that can do their jobs are the poorest entrepreneurs. And we
Think
definitely
about
don't
it.
want to be the poor.
I know. It's think about it. Think about what she said. I know.
We definitely do not want to be the poorest entrepreneurs. We don't. We need help, you know? We need that help. So I always tell people God will send the right person to help you. So a lot of times we're afraid to ask for help because we're afraid of the no. I'm okay with the no. I'll keep getting the no until the right person who's supposed to help me tells me yes.
Yeah. And then talking a little bit about the industry, do you think there's enough for everybody? So if you're going to train 100 new mobile phlebotomists, and let's say some of them are in the same area, how do you advise them on like competition?
Stand out. There's no such thing as anything being oversaturated. So they have this thing that says the bottom is oversaturated, the top is not. So the goal is for you to, how can you make your business stand out from everybody else? What do you offer? It's always the experience. So with me, it could be 15 other mobile phlebotomists around me, but nobody will provide the experience the way that I will. I'm going to check up on my clients on their birthdays and just say happy birthday. How many mobile phlebotomists are doing that? How many mobile phlebotomists are actually partnering with senior care facilities and actually volunteering their time to get to know maybe the seniors that don't have any family members that visit them? Maybe you go there and just paint their nails. What does that experience look like for your business? I know for Herway, we're really big on legacy. So it's not just about getting a student to take our program, it's actually getting a student to take our program, be successful, and then provide financial freedom so that they can create generational wealth. It's a difference. So that's how we try to explain to our students at looking at competition. You need to stand out. What does that experience look like for your business? What are you doing to make sure that I remember you over anybody else?
Yeah. And then do you also teach finance? I just feel like I've talked to a few people who they have an idea where they want to go, but they're not even sure how to build a plan.
Absolutely. So I usually encourage people to use OPM, which is other people's money, but I look at it in a different way. So, like I said, money is all around us. It's easy. It comes to you naturally. Um, so other people's money can be different things like the buy now, pay later options, right? So let's say you have a mobile phlebotomy business and you need a website. Where there are a lot of web designers that accept Sezzle, Afterpay, Klarna, or Way It. So what's really holding you back? You can't say funding. Money is all around you. You can literally start your business with buy now, pay later. They don't do credit checks. You have a minimum to put down, and you can take that and invest it into your business and then pay that back with your clients.
Yeah, it's like,
Honestly, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
Um, just one more thing because you have me on a roll now. I always advise my students I always advise my students to use payment processors because they offer what is called uh, relationship funding. So I always, even if you are a mobile phlebotomist, get a Square account. If you need a link to give you $1,000 free processing when you first sign up, you can inbox me or you can DM me on Instagram and I can give you a link. But I really like Square. The reason why I like Square when you first start off is because Square, as soon as you hit $10,000 in swipes or invoices paid, they will offer you funding. No credit checks, no bank account checks, just based off of you using their payment processor. So that is another way that you can get funding.
And a lot of these new ones do it now. I think PayPal has cards now, Venmo has cards. They all have cards for people who need essentially a loan or are looking to try to find ways to fund the start of the business.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good that you give them options. And then what about when it comes to scaling the business, like later on? Are you still going to be mentoring then, or do you basically refer them to somebody who might be doing what they're doing a little bit more strategically?
So we actually have a team of people that actually are going to be with you on every part of the process. So we have someone that will help you with the beginning, and then we also have people that help you scale. Because once you scale, it's really about that lab. It's really about the hiring process. It's really about making sure that you have everything in place for your taxes and things of that nature. So we want to help you to make sure that as you're scaling, you're not distracted with taxes or not knowing how to hire or not knowing when you should be touching something and when that should be an assistant's job. So yes, we actually have a team of mentors and coaches that will help you along the way.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. That mean that you're the support system.
We are.
You're supporting them to keep going. That's amazing. That's really good. That's very needed. I guess like can you talk a little bit about why you're doing this?
Like I stated previously, Her Way is all about the legacy, and the legacy is for our training institute to be known as the #1 institute that has helped women become entrepreneurs and provide them with the financial freedom. So the whole goal is to empower and inspire women to financial freedom. And the reason why we want you to have that freedom so bad is so that you can be the best mother to your children. You don't have to miss out on events or creating memories. Then you can create generational wealth. Also, I'm always talking about mental health. So you have the financial freedom to hire a life coach, hire a therapist, hire the mindset coach that you need. And you also have the time to go to the appointments. So it's really about the legacy of helping women get to that financial freedom that they deserve.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I think a lot of people just need that. Maybe even like a mentor that reminds them of themselves in the future, whatever it is. If you guys feel connected to Sabrina, feel free to reach out to her and her team. They've been really great. We've worked with them before. She has a lot of resources. Check out her website, and I'll put all that stuff below the video, and you'll probably see a lot of it on the video because you dropped a lot of terminology here, and maybe someone might not know what it is. So hopefully that's going to help a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And so I'm curious to know like a little bit about what you think your school is going to be like, what kind of services you guys are going to add in the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years.
So the biggest program that we are anticipating is the nursing program. Hopefully by 2024 we will have. So right now we have phlebotomy and we have medical assistant. Hopefully within the next 6 to 8 months we will also be adding PCT and EKG programs, and then hopefully within the next 18 to 24 months we will have an LPN program.
Wow. So it's like, wow. Yeah, that's a really fleshed out training program. And look at that. You could get a lot of services from Sabrina here and her team. Can you talk
Absolutely.
a little bit about your non-medical program?
Yes. So we have, I've actually been a body contouring coach for almost 5 years now, where I teach women how to start their own body contouring spas. I've actually helped over 1,500 women start their own body contouring spas. I have over 35 mentees that are six-figure earners, and then I have 3 millionaires. Two of them make more than me. So super, super proud of my community that I have built over the years. And it's in the non-invasive industry where we do body contouring, body wraps, different things of that nature. And as we felt like the phlebotomy program was really good for body contouring because we also do post-op and pre-op for people that have decided they want to do surgery. And
Wow.
one our phlebotomists can do is take the labs before you go for surgery, and then also take your labs after you have surgery. So, yes.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing. So what what kind of certifications do people need to start doing something like that? Is it different than if like let's say if you're doing non-medical, do you need a phlebotomy and EKG and all of those things, or do you separate it where it's like if you just want an EKG tech, if you want to be a tech, you could be a tech. If you want to be a phlebotomist, you could be a phlebotomist, or is it like combined?
So we do have it separated now, but we are actually going to be creating a dual um, program where they will be able to do phlebotomy and EKG. because we know that if you wanted to be a paramedical insurance examiner, you'll have to do EKGs and you'll have to draw blood. So we
Right.
wanted to those programs because some of our students actually do that service and they make a lot of money. So we wanted to combine that program.
I'm glad that that's what's driving a lot of what innovation you're doing and building here. It's like whatever the students are looking for, and maybe it's like a new, I don't know, a new type of test or a new position that's available now in the healthcare space, you're adapting to it. And I think that that's what schools are probably going to need to start doing, because a lot of people are going to school and are seeing that it's just not what's out in the real world. So that's amazing.
Absolutely. It's outdated. So the main focus for the program is to make sure that we stay 5 steps ahead so that our students are 5 steps ahead. We don't want to give you outdated information. We don't want to give you outdated marketing skill sets. We want to actually have you ready for the real world.
And I'm kind of like wondering, so for you, you're taking all of the things that you did previously in your business and you're basically applying it back into teaching new entrepreneurs. Have you learned anything from your students?
Absolutely. They keep
Right?
me on my toes. They keep me on my toes. And one of the things that I love is if they see something that we're not offering, they will come to us and say, hey, this is trending right now. This is doing really well. So I'll give you an example. They were talking about home care agencies. So they're like, how can I open up my own home care agency? So I started doing research and found out that it is a difference between home health care and home care agencies. And I reached out to an expert. And so now she is a part of our curriculum. So she comes in and she teaches a course every single month to our medical assistant students so that they learn how to open up their own home care agency.
And that's how you do it, right?
Yeah.
You want to learn about it, reach out. That's the reality.
Yes,
Yeah.
we love. Well, if you visit Georgia, I do have a podcast. It actually launches in October, and I would love for you to come on. So keep that in the back of your mind.
Go, yeah, absolutely. Oh, you're doing it in person, like in person.
Yeah, so we have like a whole studio set up. We have everything where we do, live guests or a live audience, and we touch on different topics and kind of teach people on a podcast. It's called The Audacity.
The audacity. Oh, what does that mean?
People have the audacity to not believe in themselves. People have the audacity to live in fear. So,
I could see you in a talk show. I hope you turn it into a talk show. Yeah, why not? Yes.
claim that. I'm gonna claim that.
I